everyone. Welcome to the second episode of Ask Jawson.
Number 2, baby.
We're doing it.
We're getting there. It's going to be like number 200. I'm still going to be like, number 200, baby. Here we go.
200. We're still doing it.
Yeah.
I'm one of your hosts, Joshua Jerzak.
And I'm the other one of your hosts. I am Dawson March.
Dawson March. Let's start off with housekeeping. I have a little gripe.
Yeah.
I'm a little upset. I was robbed a point last episode.
You were doing too well, okay? You were doing too well. I needed to get you somewhere.
Okay, so the game we played in the last episode, Dawson made up like fake sports, and he mixed them with like real, like crazy sports, and I had to guess which one was real and which one was fake. And he said that motorcycle polo was fake, and he made it up on the spot. And I was like, no, I feel like I've seen a video of people doing that. Like I see that happening. I've seen that happen. And the next day, I look it up, and sure enough, there's many videos of people doing motorcycle polo.
Yep.
And I was like, I was right.
All right. In my defense, I seriously thought that I made it up. What I should have done is I should have done the research. I should have said, is motorcycle polo real? And then I would have been like, oh, okay, there you go. But I was like writing down in my notes, I'm like, oh, motorcycle polo is such a good idea. And I just wrote it down. It's like, he'll definitely think that's real. And
That's
lo and behold,
so funny.
it is completely real.
Yes. I'm a little upset. I'm a little salty.
Well, there you go. Now you have a point. We'll
yeah.
keep a scoreboard eventually.
Overall consecutive points.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's embarrassing. That is embarrassing.
Yeah, on your part.
On my part. No, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next thing is, in the previous episode, I made a joke. Dawson said, I forgot, it was towards the end of the episode, so I don't know why you were like, I'm Dawson.
We were signing off or something. I was like, oh, I'm Dawson.
Right. And you're like, all right, I'm Dawson. And I went, I'm Dawson. So there's a story behind that. Dawson, would you like to tell the story?
Sure. Yeah, of course, because it is a story with my name in it, so I should be. So this story is interesting because I guess we were like in high school, and we're at this county fair, and we're standing in line for the ride called the Zipper, the coolest ride at the county fair. And as a high schooler, you're standing in line, you see another cute girl in line, and you're like, I gotta talk to her, right? So that's what I did. I saw this cute girl in line. I'm with all of you guys, unfortunately, and I see all of my.
It was you, me, Gavin, and Brian.
Yeah, and I think Nick was there too.
You were in the behind of us in the group, and then I was in front of you, and then Gavin was in front of me, and then Brian was at like the front of the group.
And Nick was definitely there as well. I remember him.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And this girl was very cute. I was like, I gotta talk to her. So I go up to her. She's standing like, here's the rope for the line, and I just go and I grab onto the rope. I'm like, hi, I'm Dawson. And everyone heard this. All of you guys heard this, and everyone's heads turned like immediately, and they're like, hi, I'm Dawson. And like one by one.
Dude, it was without skipping a beat. Like, I heard you say, hi, I'm Dawson, and I instinctually went, hi, I'm Dawson.
And then the next person, Brian, was like, hi, I'm Dawson. And then Gavin was like, hi, I'm Dawson. And then Nick was like, hi. And then this girl was like, I'm good, actually. I don't really want to talk to you guys anymore. And she turns around, and I'm just like...
Dude, she was so weirded out. It was so funny.
I've never seen a look of confusion like that before. It was incredible.
It was genuine confusion of like, are they all named Dawson?
And get this, later on that night, I see her with a group of friends, and I see them like look at me and immediately turn around and huddle up, and I'm like, oh no. She went to my high school.
Yeah. So that was like many years ago.
Yeah.
And we still, anytime Dawson introduces himself, all of us still say, "Hi, I'm Dawson."
Well, also, this is on me. Who in their right mind would use "Hi, I'm Dawson" as their pickup line?
Yeah, that's not a very good.
Like, who says "Hi, I'm so and so" for a pickup line?
Yeah.
The girl would have been like, "Okay,
Okay, cool.
nice to meet you, Dawson," I guess. And
Yeah.
so that was my fault, actually. And now that I think about it, I had a really bad. You guys probably saved me from the embarrassment of having a really bad pickup line.
Probably, yeah. We did you a favor. We
Yeah.
did you a favor.
and ruined my chances forever. Not that I already didn't do that, but
She could have realistically like been your wife. Like you could have like hit it off, had like a very long, like solid relationship. We married her, had kids.
and now I'm gonna be alone forever.
We botched it.
Now I'm never gonna have a wife or kids.
Yeah, she's gone. The one that got away.
Thank you.
No problem. I cannot get over how quick, like, even like, because I was the one that did it, and I'm like, I don't know how I just immediately thought to do that. Like, that's crazy.
That is a legendary moment now. Everyone now, whenever I say "Hi, I'm Dawson," they'll repeat that, and it's gotten to the point in my life where I can't introduce myself anymore in front of you guys.
Yeah. It's very funny.
Yeah. So that's where "Hi, I'm Dawson" comes from.
Yeah. So you'll probably hear that several times in this podcast.
Perhaps every outro we ever do.
Yeah. We'll always sign off with "Hi, I'm Dawson."
Yeah.
So I had a very eventful day today.
Yeah. How was your day? What'd you do?
So I woke up.
Wait, before you go, whenever you ask somebody a question and then you just go,
They have to like mentally prepare.
Here comes the story.
Yeah. So I woke up today at 3:45 in the morning. So
On purpose?
On purpose. Like I actively chose to do this because I had to go to the DMV.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And oh my God, it's the worst. It is absolutely horrendous.
Because right now people line up like overnight, like they camp out, right?
We got there and we didn't see because it's by the time we got there it was like 4:15 in the morning, so the sun is still not out.
Yeah.
So we pull up and we're like, we don't see people outside, like out front of the DMV. So like my mom and my sister, me and my sister bought new cars. And so we had to go to the DMV to register the cars. And my mom came along because in order for me and my sister to use my mother's insurance, my mother has to be co-owner. And that means she has to present her driver's license.
Oh, okay.
So she has to be there. So it was me, my mom, and my sister. So my mom and my sister are grabbing, we brought, snacks, and we brought, chairs.
You guys prepared.
We knew we were going to be sitting there because the DMV doesn't open till 8 o'clock. So while they're grabbing that stuff, I walk up to the front door, and there's people. That's when I see the people. And they're, along the, building. Because the DMV that we went to is in, a strip mall. So they're, along the side of the building, this way. And then they go to the back side and then behind this strip mall. And the people in front, because there was some other dude that showed up at the same time that I did. And the other dude asked the people in front of the line how long they've been there. And they were 8 o'clock p.m. the day before.
Yep.
They slept there on a blanket. It wasn't in a tent. They didn't have a mattress. They were on just a blanket. I'm you're insane.
These people need to get to the DMV, man. They are desperate.
I am here at an ungodly hour, and you are sleeping on a blanket. You're nuts.
And what if it rained? What would they do?
Well, the strip mall has like an overhang,
Oh,
so
okay.
the sidewalk. But like, I guess the people like on the side of the strip mall and on the back side, they would have been screwed.
This is blowing my mind because whenever you hear about somebody camping out in a line, it's like, oh, we camped out for a concert. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, we camped out for Comic-Con or something.
New iPhone or something like that.
And you guys are like, we camped out to get to go to the DMV.
That boggles. But I was getting, because like when I got there, I didn't think the line was going to be that long, because back in July when they opened the DMV, like you had to camp out because there was such a high volume. So it's like, but like now it's like what, mid August now. I was like, it should be like okay now. No, like not at all. And I'm like, the longer I saw the line, the more like infuriated I got. Not at the people that beat me there. Like, you got here earlier than me. Like, good for you. Like, you do your thing. I'm not mad at you. I'm mad that the system is like this.
Yes, 100%.
Like, this should not have happened. It should not be to this point where like you have to wait in that kind of line for the DMV.
So many of these things I feel like could be done online. Like, of course, not all of it, but so many of these things, especially at the DMV, can be done online.
The thing is, yes, you can like you can renew your license online. You can like they have a lot of options that you could do stuff online. But if you need to register a vehicle, like, you don't understand how many people register their vehicles day to day. Like, everyone on that line was like registering a vehicle.
Yeah, and that's tough. I know my brother and my dad went recently, and they left at 2 a.m. and they were done, I think, like pretty early. Like the DMV opened early actually because there were so many people, and I think they were out of there by like 8 o'clock in the morning.
No, the DMV opened at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, so I think theirs opened early.
We didn't get out until like 12, because what they did was they gave everyone their numbers, so you like get like the form that you need for the DMV. But me and my sister printed it out the day before and like filled out most of it, so like we didn't need to like do that while waiting online. But they make sure you have your title. They give you your number, and then you go inside, and then you give them the number, and you give them your phone number so they can text you.
Yeah.
To come inside. So everyone in that line had to first get their numbers, like their phone numbers, signed up, and then they started texting people.
That is insane to me.
I was just getting so angry, like that like this is the reality. Like, why? It shouldn't have gotten to this point.
And I feel like a lot of these things that are done through the government, right, are so labor intensive, right? Like, their online systems are terrible, their physical systems are terrible and stuff, and there's no, like, they don't care enough to expedite the process because it's more work for them to figure out a better process than to continue with the bad process.
Right.
You know? And so this stinks. And I think what DMVs are starting to do are certain ones are opening early and staying open longer, which I think is the way to do it, because then you can get twice as many people in.
They're like distributing like jobs. So like the DMV that I went to is a vehicle DMV. So like you could only do stuff involving your vehicle.
What about, so you can do your license and stuff like that there, or?
No, you have to go to a different DMV.
Wow.
To do your license.
That's intense.
So
I didn't know those existed.
Well, normally it doesn't. Normally you go to the DMV and you could do your license and all that.
Oh.
So that this way not many people are going to a DMV.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you need to get your license, you go to this one. If you need to get register your vehicle, you go to this one. That makes sense, actually. That's a good call.
Right. It's not so bad, but still, like, me and my sister got our numbers, and we were like 73 or something like that. Yeah. Like
oh, no.
And there was, like, still, like, so many people behind us.
Yeah. That is rough. So did you work after that?
No, we all three of us made sure to do it on our day off. But oh my God. So we get in, they call our numbers, we go up to the windows, and so I'm doing my thing and I'm filling out like whatever. I forgot to like fill out something on the lease, like the seller's address, which I had. So I just like quickly filled it out. And so my mom and sister come around the corner because they were at a window like around the corner. So they come around and like my sister's like very upset. And so apparently the person that she bought the car from messed up on the title, and they used whiteout on the title, which you're not allowed to do. Because it's a government document. If you make any alterations, it's null and void.
So she couldn't, so her title, so, now here's the question, right? Did she exchange money already? Like, did she already purchase the car? So she was so did she contact the seller, and the seller was?
Like our aunt helped like my sister get the car.
Yeah.
So my aunt had to contact the seller.
In
order, because the seller has to go and get a new title, because technically it's still under his name. Technically he still owns the car.
Yeah. Until
you get the car registered, it's still technically the seller's car.
I see.
So if I bought a car from you, right? You gave me the title. It's still technically in your name until I take it to the DMV and then change it under my name.
And get the title put under your name and get a new license plate and everything.
Right.
So right now she can't drive that car. Or she technically can, but no, she can, but she technically is not allowed to.
I mean, no, because she doesn't have plates.
Oh, yeah.
You don't get plates unless it's registered.
So she's...
Oh, no. She does technically have plates because she's just transferring her old plates to this car.
I see, okay.
But the plates don't match the vehicle. So if a cop were to run the plates...
It's a bad time.
She would get in trouble, and the car is not registered.
She would have a bad time. Yeah.
Yeah. So, she could kind of get away with it, but,
unless she got pulled over.
Not really, yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's not really something you can get away with.
You don't want to mess with that.
Yeah, that's nothing you don't want to screw around with that.
Well, that sounds like a very not fun line to wait on. I remember when I was a freshman in college, the Nintendo Switch came out, and I waited online for that, and that was one of the best nights ever. I was at Pittsburgh at the time, University of Pittsburgh, and none of my friends are really into video games, so I was the only one. So I'm asking all my friends, I'm like, you guys want to go to the camp out at Best Buy tonight? We'll go get a Nintendo Switch. And everyone's like, no. So I was like, fine, I'll go alone. So I Uber to the Best Buy. Mind you, it's like, I don't know, March something, I think. And it's freezing outside. So I bring a blanket, and I'm wearing all my winter clothes, and I get there, and there's already a line of people. It's like 8 p.m. the night before. People started camping out. And they start handing out numbers, of course, and I'm in line, and they give me the number 31. I get it, I'm like, oh, thank the Lord. And that was the last number. They only had 31 Switches in the store. And you were only allowed to buy one Switch per person.
Yeah.
So I get the number 31, and I'm like, oh, this is incredible. So people behind me leave and stuff, and then I'm standing out there. It gets to like maybe 11 p.m., and it starts snowing. It is literally snowing, and I'm just sitting here with my blanket. And then there's this group of guys in front of me that are just like huddling up for warmth. And they look at me and they see me shivering, and they're like, hey man, I know you don't know us, but you want to join? I was like, yes, please. And so I'm with these random, and they're like big dudes too. I'm with these random dudes cuddling up with blankets around us, trying to keep warm. But they actually opened at midnight to give away Switches because it started snowing, and they're like, we gotta give these people, like, they're...
Yeah, we gotta get these people out of here.
Yeah, they will die.
They didn't die.
Yeah. And so we get into the store, and finally I get my Switch, and it was the last one in the store, and with the second they sold my Switch, everyone, like, people were waiting there, and people started cheering and stuff like that. And that was such a fun time because I made friends with these big dudes who let me into their cuddle circle. I got a Nintendo Switch with Breath of the Wild, and I had an adventure.
That's awesome.
And then I went home and spent 340 hours straight in Breath of the Wild, but that's a different story. So there's now you know there's two different kinds of lines you can wait in. The kind of line that is miserable and you hate your life, or the kind of line where you make some new friends, you get something good out of it.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah.
I'm glad you had a good time.
Whenever somebody brings up a story, like a sad story, I just gotta throw a positive story out there.
just to make a story that is kind of like parallel to theirs, but yours is happy.
And just to make you feel bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I had like pancreatic surgery or something like that, and you're like, well, one time I had my tonsils removed and I got to eat ice cream.
Yeah.
It's like,
somebody's like, well, I don't have a pancreas. That's true. And you always you do it with positivity, but you also make them feel bad at the same time. It's great. No, so yeah. Yeah. Any other good line stories you got? Waiting in line for something? I can't.
No, that's the only time I've waited in line for something for that long.
Wow.
I've never had to do that before.
Yeah, people camp out.
I've never camped out for video game consoles or tech stuff. Never.
It's not fun. Even if it's a good time, it's still not fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You would rather be doing something else every time.
Yeah, there's so many other things you could be spending your time, like sleep. Sleep is a nice...
Yeah, because if you're camping out online on concrete, you're not sleeping.
No, not at all. Like I said, the people in front of the line were on just laying on a blanket. And I'm like, how?
They got no sleep. They got 0 hours of sleep.
Yeah. But at least if I knew I was waiting in line like that, if I was we're getting at 8 p.m. and we're gonna sleep there, I would bring my Boy Scout ground mat that I have
to make it a little more bearable.
Mat, yeah. So it's at least better than just on a blanket. Yeah. Was it a heavy comforter blanket?
Yeah,
what?
And it's on concrete, right? It's
yeah.
Yeah, that's messed up. There's another time that I waited online. We were supposed to leave for the air for it was my little brother Gavin and I. We were supposed to leave for Europe, right? We were on a flight to go to Europe, and we get there, and they look at Gavin's passport, and it's sorry, you can't fly. Your passport expires in 3 months. And it's yeah, we're not going to be there for 3 months. And they said, actually, your passport has to expire 6 months after your flight in order to go. Which makes no sense, okay? It makes no sense.
No, not at all.
But that was the rule, and they weren't budging. And so this was the day we were supposed to fly. So we had to go to New York City the day after because we couldn't fly that day, and because they expedite the process if you're actually in person at the passport agency in New York City.
Right.
So we go the next morning, and we're like, oh, we'll leave at 6 a.m. We'll definitely get there, and nobody's going to be online. And we get there, and the line, mind you, this is New York City. This is a skyscraper. The line wraps around the building twice. And we're like, we're not going to fly until next week on this line. So we start waiting in line, and it's my dad's there, and my whole family's there, really, because we all have to renew our passports, apparently. And my dad sees the security guard waiting at the door. And my dad goes up to him and puts his arm around him, and they start talking. I'm like, what is going on? And then I see them shake hands. And then my dad comes back and then says, we're good. And we walk right through the door. The security guard lets us in through the door. And we're like the second people into the building. And we get our passports and we fly that day. I'm like, Dad, what did you do? Like, how did you get us in? My dad's like, just talk to him. I'm like, Dad, you had to have given him money. And my dad's like, no, I just talked to him.
That's insane.
Yeah, that is one of the craziest lines I've ever been on.
That is so baller to like just walk back to your family and be like, we're good.
Yeah, I was like,
walking. It's such a baller move.
We were all like really scared that my dad was getting to get into a fight because, like, I don't know, sometimes he gets like, you know, like at odds with people, but man, they got along really well apparently, and we got right in and we got our passports.
That's crazy.
So again, another really positive line story to make you feel bad about yours. You know.
I should have like talk to the people at the front of the line then.
Yeah, you should have gone up there and just like became really close with the DMV people. Maybe they would have let you in.
How do you even like open a conversation like that?
I have
like,
zero idea.
You know what? You know what he probably said? He walked up to the He walked up to the security guy, threw his arm around his shoulder, and went, "Hi, I'm Dawson."
And then they shake hands. He's like, "You're good. You're good." My dad comes back. "I got this. We're good. We're good." I talked to him. We had a really good talk.
That was his opening line.
Honestly, if somebody did that to me and I was a security guard, I'd be like, "I'm listening."
Yes.
Yes. Continue. Arm around. "Hi, I'm Dawson." "Oh, okay. You're good." So funny.
God.
Yeah, to this day, I have no idea what the guy said.
Dude, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there you go.
I couldn't.
Yeah. I would be scared. I mean, the thing is also, you're right. I wouldn't be able to wait, camp out online for something like that. Like for the DMV, imagine camping out.
Dude, I have been to the DMV before. Like, I've registered cars,
Yeah.
I've gotten a license, like, I've done, like, a plethora of things at the DMV. Like, this wasn't my first rodeo at the DMV. And, like, I've always been, like, in and out. Like, I think the most that I've been there for, like, a long period of time is, like, an hour and a half wait. Like, because, like, the DMV is, like, notorious of, like, oh, you better clear your schedule. You're going to be there all day. Like, it's the DMV. They're really slow. But, like...
If you go at the right time.
Yeah, like, anytime I've been, like, the most I've waited is, like, an hour. And, like, I do my thing. They do it immediately, and I leave.
Yeah.
This was the longest I've ever been at the DMV. And I was like, this is terrible.
And you would think, like you said, it's been a couple of months now. You would think everything is like, you know, caught up.
Most people have gotten their stuff like squared away, and
that's what they all think, though.
Well, I mean, I guess because you got to think like you also have people like before the pandemic or like during like because the pandemic. I saw on Twitter someone said the pandemic's going on for 6 months. And I was like, yeah, it has.
You're right. Since March.
Yes. I was like, holy crap. Holy shit, 6 months.
That's insane.
So you have to think you have, like, I mean, if you, like, take off August. So it opened, the DMV opened, like, July 7th or something like that. So that's March, April, May, June, July. 5 months, right?
Yeah.
That's 5 months of backlog that now everyone is trying to get their car registered, get their license renewed, or get new licenses. So many kids want to do their road tests.
Yeah.
You have 5 months of people not being able to access the DMV.
And so, and there are also still people that need to access it like normally now. So
Yeah,
you
like
have the
me.
backlog plus the regular amount of busyness that the DMV has.
Exactly, like me. Like I bought my car like last Wednesday.
Yeah, okay.
And so we all went on our like when we all had like the same day off. So it was today.
What'd you get?
I got a 2011 Hyundai Accent. It's a 2-door hatchback.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is it sort of like the Focus?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
2011 though.
Yeah, it's better.
Nice, man. Sick. The air conditioning works.
The it blows air, but like it's not cold air. So I do need to get the DMV or get it to like an auto mechanic and like, look at that. But okay, so the thing about my car, so my aunt, who was also helping my sister with her car, sent me this car through Facebook Marketplace. So I take a look at it. I'm like, okay. They listed it for $2,475, and my budget was between $4,000 and $4,500.
Okay.
So I was like, this is under budget. Like the mileage, like isn't bad. It was like the mileage is 145,000.
Okay.
Which isn't terrible.
Yeah.
So I was like, mileage is kind of low. It's the like newer car. Like no one in my family has had a car this new. Like we have usually gotten like old hoopties. So I was like, let me message them, see, at least look at the car. So I message them, they get back, we set up a date and time. I go and see the car, and like it's like really clean. The interior's clean, under the hood is clean, like everything is clean and it's really good. And I test drove it. It drives perfectly fine. Nothing is wrong with it. And so I was like, yeah, I'll buy it. And I was like, so I didn't have any like $5 bills. So I couldn't like make exact change. So I was hoping that the person I was buying it from would have like change, but they didn't.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, crap. And so I was like, well, I'll probably like go to a bank or like go to a store and ask for change or something. And they're like, you know what? Forget about the $75. Just make it $2,400. It's like, are you sure? And they're like, yes. And so, okay, I forgot to mention the girl that I was buying it from. It was these two girls. They're apparently French. They were like French, and like they were like living in America for a little bit, and so they were like very nice. They had like never sold a car before. This was their first like car like selling experience, and so I was like very patient with them. I was very nice with them, and they were so nice. I was like, oh my God, this is like the nicest like buying of a car that I've ever like dealt with. We go and I buy the car. I'm like, yes, like I'll buy it. They give me the title. I take the keys. I give them the money, and I'm trying to take the plates off, but I didn't bring the right tool to take the plates off. So I didn't have like a screwdriver. So I couldn't take the plates off.
Okay.
So I had to go and drive to a nearby Home Depot and grab and buy like a tool set. And they were like closing. Like we got there like 10 minutes before they closed. So we buy the tool set, quickly drive back, and I take off the plates, and the girl gives me $200 back. And I was like, what's this for? And she was like, I'm moving back to France, so you can have this money back. And I was like, are you sure? Like, you don't have to do that. Like,
No way.
yeah, and she was like, no, like, I trust you, and I feel like you're gonna treat this car very nice. Like, you're a very good person. Like, here's $200 back. I was like, are you 100% sure? Like, you're moving back to France. Like, are you sure? And she was like, yes. So I got this 2011 car with like low mileage for $2,200, which was way below my budget.
Dude, this sounds like the luckiest car buying experience I've
100%.
ever heard of.
And like I said, they were so nice. Like, it was the best experience I could have ever had.
It kind of makes sense though that they gave you the money because, I mean, not really, like I would still keep it, but you're going to spend so much money on exchanging it back to euros.
Yeah.
That $200 really is going to become like $110. Like they take a lot. I mean, I don't know the exact math, but
Right.
that's kind of unbelievable. You like, because if it was just some random car, you know, a person selling it for that much, they would be like, yeah, go get change. like yeah, go spend the $75. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Well, that just makes me like French people even more.
Yes, I was like,
I got to go to France.
Yeah.
And buy some cars.
Buy some cars.
Just go there and be like, go to buy a car there. I'm like, oh, I'm $120 short. And they're like, it's fine, don't worry. I'm like, yes. All French people are like this. But that's incredible.
But so the funny twist, I'm taking off the plates, and the girls go back into the car to make sure that they grabbed everything and like they're not forgetting anything. They look in the door, the passenger side door. You know how like cars have like that little pocket?
Yeah.
In the door. There was a screwdriver in there.
No way. They came prepared.
But like I had already bought the tool set, and like we didn't realize until I'm already taking the plates off that there was a screwdriver in the car the whole time.
That is really funny. And so, but did they have accents?
Huh?
Did they have French accents?
Oh yes, I didn't know they were from France until she said that she's moving back to France. But they definitely had like a European accent.
That's amazing. You just had the best car buying experience of all time.
Yeah. Oh, and so I took it off to like see how it works. But I'm looking. So the rear view mirror looked like weird, and it had like a weird tint to it, and it had like buttons on it. And I was like, I don't know what that's for. So I was like, whatever. And like, it's not doing anything. I'm pressing like the power button and like nothing's working. And like, what? So I go and I'm showing the car to my sister, and she opens the glove box, and there's something that plugs into the like the car, like cigarette lighter.
Yeah.
And the cord goes up and into like the ceiling of the car. Like,
so you just have this wire that goes up to the ceiling of the car?
Yeah, and we're like, where does that go? So we looked on like the outside, because like maybe like it's outside the car or something, because the car also has XM radio.
Okay.
So I was like I've never used XM radio before. Like maybe it has something to do with that.
Some antenna or something.
Yeah, some antenna or something, but like it wasn't. So, because like it didn't go outside of the car, so we're like, okay, whatever. So we tuck it in, and I'm looking at the mirror, and I notice there's a plug going into the top of the mirror, up into the ceiling, and it goes across, leading to where the charger goes down. So I was like, plug that back in, and I'll press the power button. And so my sister grabs it out, plugs it in, press the power button, and there's a little screen at like the side of the mirror, and my sister looks at the back. It's the dash cam.
No way.
Dash cam.
No way. So did you? Are you gonna put it back in to get a dash cam, or you don't care?
I'm probably going. I have to buy a micro SD chip,
dude.
but it's like $7. So like I'm probably gonna do it. It's not like an expensive one. I looked into it. It's like $30-something. But like still, like I'll probably like put it back on.
You know how cool that is? Because now you can take videos while you're driving around, right? And post them to idiots in cars or whatever that subreddit is, like of just dumb drivers.
Yeah.
Because you're driving around New Jersey, you capture all of those.
Oh, 100%.
You could be like the most popular Redditor for idiots in cars.
Yeah.
That is
I was
amazing.
Like, there's a dash cam. They just gave me a dash cam.
They gave you $200 and a dash cam.
Yeah, for real.
And a car, but you bought the car, but
and a car, yeah.
Yeah, it's a different story.
But yeah, it was the best car buying experience I've ever had, and probably will ever have.
So you start this podcast with a really sad, really just bummer story of you waiting in the line for getting this car, but you end it with an incredible story of the best car buying experience ever. Now, the next time I'm going to go buy a car, I'm just going to get punched in the face or something like that. By a French dude.
Yeah. And then I'll tell you about my car buying experience and how good it was.
And just a single tear will fall down my face.
Yeah.
That's incredible, though. Unbelievable.
Yeah. I like it.
You should post that story somewhere. It's like, that's a feel-good story.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and the car has, like, an eco boost or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like very fuel efficient. The girls said they only filled the gas tank once a month.
Where do they drive? They drive like from their house to their end of their driveway? Like what do they do?
I don't know, but I was like, I don't know if that's 100% true, but like I'm not going to be filling up the tank a lot, which is cool.
Do you know how many miles?
The boost does work.
Do you know how many miles per gallon they get?
So it was 36 on the highway, and it was like 20 like non, so like it averaged to like 26 or something like that.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is great. You know what my Tahoe got at home? Guess how many miles per gallon?
Dude, it's like -5.
Yeah, dude. Oh, you hear the dog in the background?
I did.
Yeah, we got a dog. But yeah, my car, the car back home would get 11 miles to the gallon, which is not bad for that thing. The only issue is you would spend $65 every time you wanted to fill up.
Good Lord,
Yeah.
because it's such a huge tank.
Huge tank, and it was expensive, especially in New Jersey. And yeah, so.
I remember my very first car that I bought was a Jeep Wrangler. Do you remember the Jeep?
Oh yeah, of course I remember the Jeep.
It was 15 miles to the gallon.
Oh, it's better than... what year was that?
It was a 2001 Jeep Wrangler.
Oh, okay. Okay, wow. Mine was a 2004, I think, and I still got less gas mileage.
Yeah.
By the way, I just want to let you know, my Mac is at 5% now, so for everyone that's watching, I'm going to have 5% in the corner now. And my charger, I believe, is downstairs. We didn't get to the one topic we want to get to, but podcast number 3.
Yeah. I have so many topics now.
We were having too much fun talking about DMVs. We had a great time.
Talking about standing in lines.
Yeah. But another episode 2, another great podcast, another good round.
Another one in the books.
Another one in the books. Let's go number 3, baby.
Number 3.
Number 3, baby. But yeah. Please, everyone, look forward to the next podcast. Go ahead, talk about our email. If you wait, transition. Email.
You can email us any questions or any topics that you may want us to talk about, news articles or whatever that you're like, oh, this is funny, whatever, you could send it to us at askjawson@gmail.com. And my social medias, your boy Josh, on Twitter and Instagram.
And I don't have social media, so
You suck.
I might. I don't know. One day, if I start becoming more social media present, I will discuss my social media. But as of now, don't even think about following me on social media.
Don't you dare.
Don't you dare.
Don't think about it. Don't. Just don't.
Just don't.
Just don't.
And on that note, hi, I'm Dawson.
Hi, I'm Dawson. Goodbye.
Goodbye, my friend. I'll see you next podcast.
See you next podcast.